Hey guys, today's topic of the video is going to be about an important Irish writer whose name is Samuel Beckett. He is the best known writer when it comes to the theatre of absurd or absurdity. Who is Samuel Beckett? In this video we will be discussing the introduction, early life, later life, literary life, important works, literary style of Samuel Beckett, and why is he important. But before starting, I will suggest you to subscribe to this channel so that you can get all the literary updates. So starting with the introduction of Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett is still a well-known writer who was actually an Irish avant-garde playwright, novelist, director, short story writer, translator, and a poet. Avant-garde means a person or time who advocates new ideas and new styles and forms and literature, etc., and art. So his play Waiting for Godot was listed in the most significant English language plays of the 20th century, and this play became his most famous work and collected praises from several critics too. He wrote his works in two languages, French and English. He was basically from Ireland, but he wrote his works in English and French. Briefly, he was a man of letters, and his plays are very famous today worldwide. So moving towards his life, his personal and literary life. So Samuel Beckett was born on 30th April 1906 in Dublin, Ireland. It is the same city where James Joyce is born, who is famous for his stream of consciousness and his writings. His father's name was William Frank Beckett, and his mother's name was May Barclay Rowe. His mother was a nurse and his father was working in a construction business, and his family was from a Protestant Anglo-Irish background. When Samuel was of five age, he started learning music. He attended the Alsford House School. From 1919, he went to the Portora Royal School, and it was the same school attended by Oscar Wilde. I have also uploaded video on Oscar Wilde and his famous novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray. Link will be provided in the description below. So back to the topic. Samuel was a brilliant cricket player in his youth. He is the only Nobel Prize winning author who have played first class cricket. From 1923 to 1927, Samuel attended the Trinity College in Dublin and studied English, French and Italian and received BA degree. In 1928, he came to France and became a student of James Joyce. So he also became art teacher in Paris. In 1929, his first critical essay was published. In 1930, he became a lecturer in Trinity College. In 1930, he also submitted a French paper on the poet Jean Dorcas. In 1931, he visited Germany, France and Britain. He did several odd jobs to feed himself, but in 1937, he settled in Paris. In 1938, he was once stabbed by a pimp after refusing his solicitations. After 1940, he worked on as a courier boy. Samuel Beckett also fought for the French Renaissance in the Second World War, and for this he was later awarded by an award Croix de Guerre. In the World War II, he had Ireland citizenship and was a neutral country, was a neutral country, and for this country he stayed in France. In 1959, he was awarded by the honorary doctorate in Trinity College in Dublin. In 1950s, his romantic relationship with Barbara Bray and their relationship ended until his death. In 1961, he was awarded by the International Publishers for Mentor Prize. In 1961, he married Susan in England. In 1966, Samuel also wrote the screenplay for the movie film, which was directed by Alan Schneider. In 1968, he became a foreign honorary member of American Academy of Arts and Science. In 1969, he was awarded by the Nobel Prize in Literature for his writing, which in new forms of the novel and the drama. In the destitution of modern man acquires this elevation. Samuel died on December 22, 1989 at the age of 83 in France. So moving towards some of important works, first is his critical essay published in 1929, which is Dante Bruno Vico Joyce. In 1931, his essay Proust, published. In 1932, his first novel Dream of Fairing to Middling Women was published. In 1934, he wrote the poem titled Genome. In 1934, his short prose collection More Pigs Than Kicks was published. In 1938, he published his novel Murphy. Molly was published in 1951 and it was later translated in English too. Malone Dies was his novel published in 1951 too. In 1953, Waiting for Godot premiered in Paris. In 1953, his novel The Unnameable and What was published. In 1956, his short play Act Without Word 1 and Act Without Word 2, which was a sequel of the former, was published. In 1956, he also completed his one-act radio play All That Fall. In 1957, his one-act play Endgame was premiered in London. In 1958, his play Crab's Last Tape was published and was produced and published in 1959. In 1961, he completed his play Happy Days. In 1961, he wrote the radio short play Rough for Radio 1 and Rough for Radio 2 and Words and Music. In 1961, his French novel Commencist was published. In 1962, his play Cascando was broadcasted. Between 1962 and 1963, he completed his German play Spiel. Alright. In 1966, his play Come and Go was premiered. That time, Footfalls, Goose Trio, Il Ciel, Il Sage, Rockbay, Ohio Impromptu, Quad, that was always published from 1966 to 1981. So more, his short play Catastrophe was published in 1982. Nash and Trome was published in 1983. His last play What Where was published in 1983. Worstward Ho was his prose piece, and which is written by him in 1983. In 1992, his autobiographical novel Dream of Fear of Minding Women was published posthumously. So moving towards the literary style of Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett wrote subjectively under his thoughts and experiences. His work contains several allusions to that great writers like Dante, etc. Um, so second is his use of allusion. So his play are more structured traditionally with conventional plots. Rather he uses dark humor. He uses dark humor and so so we have the third feature, his use of dark humor. So he uses dark humor and bleak concept of life to describe the elements in the life of a human. His play Waiting for Godot contains dark aspects of human life. So his style of writing is theatre of absurd, of which I have made a video, link will be provided in description, and he uses paradoxes in his plays. Striving to survive is in a doomed world is a unique theme used by Samuel Beckett. His play contains characters of clown, irony, sarcasm, absurdity, puns, slapstick humor, and many other instruments. His four plays, Waiting for Godot, Happy Days, Scrap's Last Tape, and Endgame were called stage giants of that time. His plays are also contain motifs and symbols. So why is Samuel Beckett so important and relevant today? Samuel Beckett is important because of his play Waiting for Godot and the theme and style employed in it. So that's because of his themes and style which were employed in his Waiting for Godot. He was greatly influenced by the teachings of Dante, René Descartes, and other several writers and philosophers. So he uses their illusions in his work also. And there is a reason why he was given the Nobel Prize. It is for his writing, which is new, for his novels and dramas, and the destitution of modern man requires extra elevation. So he produced great works of 4 novels, 2 dramas, and a collection of short stories. Short stories, essays, and criticism. These are the things. The scene of World War II were also full of insecurity, confusion, exile, hunger, and deprivation, and these influenced the writings of Samuel Beckett and later coming existentialist and absurd writers like Albert Camus, Franz Kafka, etc. In short, Samuel Beckett is a great name in the English literature and was influenced in 20th century greatly. So I hope that's enough to you. So thanks for watching. I hope you will like or dislike this video. Also comment in the comment box for further inquiry or do subscribe to this channel. Thank you.